including Florida. Florida's the only team that beat Tennessee earlier this season, and currently the Gators are ranked 6th, ahead of the Volunteers ranked 8th. How high the Volunteers move up in the poll could well depend on what the Associated Press voters are willing to do with Florida. Tennessee, of course, left Knoxville here the day after Christmas this year. They've been spending the week in New Orleans, and not many people gave them a chance to win this ball game. But the team apparently believed in itself, and they said the only reason they played as well as they did, they felt they had something to prove. They weren't playing for a national championship, simply for pride in themselves and for their fans back home in Tennessee. And now here comes the official party leaving the plane. Tennessee coach John Majors, in his 9th year at the University of Tennessee, bringing home a Sugar Bowl trophy. Directly behind him, the championship of the Sugar Bowl. The moment that Tennessee fans have been waiting for so long.
Congratulations. How's it feel today, Coach?
Feels mighty fantastic. It's kind of hard to really appreciate what happened, except last night was one of the most emotional evenings, one of the most exciting nights I've ever spent in my life. With the crowd at the Super Bowl and with a great performance our team gave, there's just nothing quite like last evening in my entire life.
Coach Majors, was there a moment in the game when it hit you that you at last were going to win a major bowl championship, and how did it feel when that happened?
Well, I've been in a few major bowl championships before. It wasn't the first, it was the first one at Tennessee. I was more excited about the team's play last night, more so than thinking about the moment that we won a major bowl. I was happy for them. It was such an exciting ball game, and the way we were playing, I was more into that than I was thinking about the moment until it's all over. Then I thought about the significance, because it was a significant bowl victory and a great special championship football team.
Did you tell the players anything on the plane coming home today?
I went back to the plane and told them individually how proud I was of them, and talked to each senior and told them what I appreciated for his efforts, and they knew where I was if they ever needed anything. Just also told the young ones to stay hungry, because we'd have to be a lot better next year to be near as good record-wise.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Coach Majors. Again, the Tennessee team right now is filing off the airplane. They'll be boarding K-Trans buses over here for reception at Gibbs Hall, where Bob Kesling is standing by right now. Bob, what's the situation over there?
Well, Tom, all week in New Orleans, Tennessee fans have been accustomed to orange and white shakers and cheering and Rocky Top and everything you can imagine, the spirit and the enthusiasm, and that's what it's like right here at Gibbs Hall right now. Probably there are several thousand fans already here. Many more are coming. We look down Neyland Drive and also look up Lake Loudon Boulevard, Volunteer Boulevard. Cars are pulling up, people are stopping, and the fans are assembling here. They'll have a brief ceremony. Coach Majors will speak to the crowd here, also selected players. The mayor, Kyle Testerman, will present a proclamation, and the Volunteer fans will celebrate what has been a very big week in New Orleans, as last night Tennessee won the Sugar Bowl as they knocked off Miami 35-7. We will have a live update. We will carry the ceremony from Gibbs Hall for a huge pep rally and reception. The Volunteers came in from New Orleans this afternoon on a charter jet. Tennessee, of course, still enjoying the fruits of last night's Sugar Bowl victory against the University of Miami 35-7. This has been what Tennessee has been accustomed to the past week or so. Thousands of fans, thousands of orange and white shakers, and plenty of enthusiasm for these Tennessee fans, really enjoying and celebrating what has been a dream season almost. Tennessee, of course, when the season began, most people thought the best they could do, perhaps 4th, maybe 5th in the Southeastern Conference. Then suddenly a win against Auburn, a win against Alabama, and then a crushing injury to Tony Robinson. But Darrell Dickey comes along to lead this team. Dickey and the Volunteers knock off the Miami Hurricanes last night, 35-7. And the buses have just pulled up. It was a game last night that Tennessee really controlled from the very outset. Jeff Powell broke the game open in the third quarter with that 60-yard touchdown run. The crowd in the Superdome, it was predominant Tennessee fans all night long. The Volunteer defense confused Miami and Vinny Testaverde. They were never really in control of the game. Tennessee's defense kept pressure on them, made big plays, and now the Volunteers make their way off the buses. And we'll just let you feel the excitement, the emotion, and the sheer joy at Gibbs Hall in Knoxville. Tennessee's last Southeastern Conference championship was in 1969. The Volunteers won the crown this year. And the Volunteers now will, of course, try and build for the 1986 season. But right now, the only thing people are talking about is this outstanding victory last night against the Miami Hurricanes. We're going to try and grab some of the players as they come by and let you get their thoughts on the contest last night and the things that went about and the excitement that was generated. It was quite a week in New Orleans. Of course, Action 10 News was there for the entire duration of the Volunteers' stay in New Orleans, and this has been what has been going on pretty much since they arrived. Tennessee fans en masse celebrated with the Volunteers at the Sugar Bowl and throughout the course of the week. David Douglas is with us. David, offensive lineman, a senior member of the team. What about the reception, Dave?
Oh, this is great. It's been Tennessee Orange all week down in New Orleans and now here. It's been great.
David, I know last night before the game, the Volunteers had to leave the hotel, walk across the street to the Sugar Bowl and the Superdome. And Dale Jones told us last night that might have been what really spurred this team on.
Yeah, that really fired us up right when we came out of the motel. And it was like we were at Knoxville. It was like we didn't even leave Knoxville for the game and everything. The fans were great.
Tell us, a senior, been around for a while, and the emotion of the season and how things have come. Some people say it's a dream season, a season Tennessee fans remember for a long time, and I think that's right.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to remember this game as long as I live in this whole year, and this is just great. That's what it's all about right here.
What about the emotion when you turned the corner and saw the folks?
Oh, God. Everybody just got fired up on the bus when they saw everybody standing out here. This is great. I can't believe how many people are here.
Yeah, you got a lot of people that are proud of you, and I think all of East Tennessee and the state and the Southeast very proud of what you guys accomplished. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thanks to David Douglas, tackle of the Tennessee Volunteers. The players are trying to make their way up to Gibbs Hall. As you might expect, it's jammed. They're going to try and have a ceremony. There's a podium. There's the SEC Championship Trophy being held by Administrative Assistant Ralph Chansey. Coach Majors is here with us live.
Good gosh, what's going
Coach, we've been battling crowds for the last week, but it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Emotions are almost too much to handle. It's a very touching scene to come in off that plane and see our friends out at the airport and all along the highway. It's been one of the most emotional 24 hours or so that I've ever spent in my life. Last night at the Superdome with a great Tennessee support, it was almost entirely orange, and the way our team played was amazing. It's just too special for words.
I guess it's a thrill anytime you go on the football field, but to run out in the Superdome last night, I mean, it gave you goose pimples, didn't it?
Oh, it did. I don't know when I've been so excited since I was a little boy at Christmas at halftime when they missed that field goal. I ran off that field like a kid with a new toy. I'm telling you, our team played like gangbusters. It was just great.
Now, this football team, I guess there's so many things to talk about, but you got to talk about it. Guts, intensity, everything. I mean, all the adjectives.
I don't know what else I can say. Last night, we were the best football team in America, I think, and we could play with anybody right now, and I think we were the best one last night, quite likely, but that's a moot question, I'm sure. This is the most amazing football team that I've ever been around, and I doubt that I'll ever see one quite like it with the chemistry I hope we can win more sometime, but whatever we do, and never bring anybody else as special as this team.
Coach Majors, enjoy this for a while. Congratulations.
Oh, it's special.
Okay. Coach Johnny Majors, his thoughts on the game. We're talking about key members of the Volunteers. Tim Welch is here from Farragut. Come here, Tim. Tim is a guy who came here as a walk-on, didn't get to play a whole lot. Suddenly this year gets to play a lot. It's a nickel back, and I guess all the weight and the hard work is worth it, wasn't it, Tim?
Oh, gosh, yes. It's just unbelievable experience. You see the UT fans. It's just, I can't say enough about the fans.
Tell us about the emotion in New Orleans. I mean, all week long, Tennessee fans were down. They took over the city, and that really helped, didn't it?
Oh, gosh, when I walked on the field and looked up in the stands, I said, we're at home.
Yeah, that's right.
We're back in Neyland Stadium. It's a Superdome, but it's Neyland Stadium. Everybody's there. I couldn't find any Miami fans.
They were hiding, especially after the game.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, when Miami did something, you see a few little white shirts somewhere, but like, oh my gosh.
You can't just, thanks, Tim.
Oh, you're
Congratulations.
welcome.
Oh, thank you. Jeff Powell's with us. Jeff Powell has just showed up. If we can make his way through the crowd. Jeff, of course, really helped break the game open as he raced the 60 yards of the touchdown. Jeff, that thing broke wide open. Did you buy Harry Galbraith and Bruce Wilkinson a steak dinner last night?
No, but I should have. I didn't get touched until I got into the secondary. The guys up front did a great job. Miami's defense was pretty aggressive, and they pretty much ran themselves out of the play. And like I said, the front guys did a great job, and I didn't get touched until I got into the secondary.
It seemed like the offensive line was really in charge all night long, weren't they?
Yeah, we controlled the line of scrimmage. We kept them off of Darryl pretty much all day. Gave Darryl time enough to look down, pick his receivers. And when we had to run the ball, we ran the ball fairly well. And we had a good mixture of running and passing, and we hurt them.
You know, it's interesting. Jeff's picture isn't even in the football brochure because of the fact he was a track athlete that transferred to Tennessee. For a guy on the brochure, he had a pretty good year.
Well, things turned out well for me. I came in a very difficult situation, and I tried to be patient, and a couple of things went my way. A couple of people got hurt, and I got a chance to play, and I couldn't have asked for a better ending.
Jeff, what about the rush when you got to the end zone last night? Saw all the shakers and knew you'd scored the touchdown.
Oh, it just felt great. I've been waiting all year to break along.
One more thing, Bart, I want to raise. Don't push it, Ralph.
Trying to make its way, the Volunteers through the crowd there. Someplace up there's a podium set up. And John Ward, the voice of the Vols, is trying to hold a little bit of a impromptu press conference. David Keith is, come here, David. Listen. David and I were on Bourbon Street. You were there. Tell you know, maybe we're a little bit biased, but describe what you saw on Bourbon Street all week.
It's like an orange and white Mardi Gras. It was great. It was wonderful.
Somebody used the term that the Tennessee fans showed a party town how to party.
That's what the Bell people at the hotel and stuff said that to me. He said, y'all showed us how to party down here.
It was a great game. How'd you come through the game last night, David?
Well, I had a little bit of my voice left. I'm trying to come back now. I had a wonderful time. That's one of the happiest evenings of my life.
That was a great night. Thanks, David.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks to David Keith, fine actor who is also, he goes to all the Tennessee games. We're going to try and make our way up to the podium to see if we can get some of the comments from the coaching staffs. Mayor Kyle Testerman, excuse me. Mayor Kyle Testerman is making a presentation. And we'll get that for you right here.
Every one of them know that we're very, very proud of them. We're very happy for them. We're delighted to have them back home to their #1 home. And it's my official duty to present to Coach Majors and declare officially the University of Tennessee #1 and present him with this symbolic emblem of #1 to the UT Vols.
The mayor has a shirt that says Crunch, Vols 35, Miami 7. Now here's Dwight Kessell from Knox County.
County Executive of Knox County, Dwight Kessell. Dwight.
Thank you, John. Again, a welcome to everybody, and there's an old phrase that started many years ago on TV in Miami. How sweet it is. Thank you.
Now the president of the University of Tennessee, Dr. Edward Boling.
Very much a part of last evening's activity all last week, both basketball and football at the Sugar Bowl. The president of the University of Tennessee, Dr. Ed Boling.
Thank you, John. Thank you. On behalf of the trustees of the University of Tennessee, I want to thank the people of this Knoxville community for all you do for the University of Tennessee and the Big Orange. I also want to thank Chancellor Jack Reese, the faculty, the students, the cheerleaders, the band, and the 150,000 alumni all across this world, literally, who believe in the Big Orange as we do. Obviously, we're here to say good things about this team, which is not dominated by one name like Testaverde who? But has a lot of good common names like Davis and Brown and Dickey. And Robinson. And Ziegler, but maybe that's not a very common name in East Tennessee. It's a good name, though. But we're also here to express our great thanks to two people particularly. I don't think he's here, but our new athletic director, Doug Dickey, who came back and brought a lot of good ideas, but mostly he brought his son, Darrell. And then the man that we really want to go to, and I'm going to let John Ward, the voice of the Volunteers, introduce him because he does the job. Maybe we ought to thank John Ward right now. Why don't you do that? But I want to tell you that we're going to give you now the man who brought this great team together, the one that Mayor Testerman has just proclaimed #1 in the United States. We want to bring you the coach who, when he went to New Orleans last week at the airport, they said to him, how do you feel today, Coach Johnny Majors? And he said, I don't know how I feel today. I feel pretty good, I think, but I wonder how I will feel on January the 2nd. You're here, and he's here, and we want you to hear the greatest coach in the United States, the man... together what I believe to be the best staff in the United States, Johnny Majors.
Coach Majors wants the Sugar Bowl trophy to show to the crowd with the expected response. Coach Majors is motioning for the two of the co-captains, Tim McGee and Tommy Sims.
Thank you, folks. I want you guys to say something just for me, okay?
They're trying to get some of the photographers to get out of the way, and so they can see the SEC Championship trophy.
First, I want you to know my wife who stuck with me through the years. My gosh, she came back with me to Tennessee. Without her, I wouldn't be near where I am. This is Mary Lynn. I promise you, I'm not going to make your speech because it's too much fun for me to ruin it. I do want to make a few comments. A few comments that I think are pertinent about this team and our people from Tennessee. Whether you know it or not, coming in tonight, there was a beautiful orange sunset. How fitting. Number two, this has been one of the most emotional 24 hours or so that I've ever spent in my life, enjoying the great Tennessee fever in New Orleans and knowing we had support like this back at home, and seeing this amazing football team perform last night at the Superdome. And not to be over corny, over emotional, but it's a very touching thing to see the highway stack and you people here tonight to help us come back to earth gradually without dropping too fast. Now, words come easy when you win. Sometimes I get a little wordy when we win. This is the most amazing football team, the most unusual one I've ever been around. About 2 minutes, I'll be through. This is a group of seniors who broke the Alabama drought with 4 straight victories, and the first Southeastern Conference championship team to win their bowl game since 1938. Now, my last comments, because I know you want to see the players. My last comments. A few people have already asked me, how about next year, Coach? I might remind you of something I've learned a little bit through the last few years. Let's enjoy and appreciate the moment and count our blessings day to day. Let's enjoy this one. It's great. Last and not least, it's great to be home with the greatest following in America. Now, our seniors here this is Lavoisier Fisher. Jeff Smith, I'll tell you what. Tommy Sims. Tim Welch. Tim McGee. And Mr. Interceptor USA, Chris White. We're going to ask the 3 captains to say a word or two here. First, the leading interceptor in the United States, Chris White. Pretty close.
First of all, I'd like to say, this is great to see this many supporters out. In the game, it seemed like we had a 12th man on the field, the way our defense played. And I want all y'all to know that y'all are the 12th man on the field. And all the years to come, keep it up, because we're number 1. Yeah.
Senior Chris White from Cleveland, Tennessee. Here comes Tim McGee.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Well, I guess when I look back on my career, if it wasn't for the people out there, it wouldn't be possible to be standing here with the #1 football team in the country and the #1 fans in the country. And we thank you for the support. Thank you.
All-time leading receiver in Tennessee football history, and now Tommy Sims, who was injured, did not play last time, but has been a big member of the defensive secondary all season.
Knoxville for coming down to New Orleans, because without you all support, it couldn't have been possible. And all year long, 96,000 fans that have packed the stadium, has been our 12th man, and has made this dream come possible. Thank you once again.
Tommy Sims, and now Coach Majors might make one final comment.
Thank you, folks. This football team exemplified what it's all about more than anybody else I've ever seen. Our staff members offensively, defensively, and our team. It was always the team, us, we, and our. There was no I, my, and what can we do for me today? Those young men and those staff members did a fantastic job. So when you get a chance to see them, pat them on the back, and Happy New Year.
Comments from Coach Johnny Majors of the Volunteers as they... Tim, come here a second, Tim. This is Tim McGee, wide receiver for the Volunteers. Tim, the whole season, the whole year, I mean, it's good, something you'll remember forever.
It's a point in my life that I'll never forget. And, you know, I put 10 years into this game and a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours in practice, and this is where it pays off. And without these fan support, you know, who knows where we'll be.
Tim, I know that many people watched the game on television last night. They saw the emotion, but really it's hard to describe unless you were there.
It's a feeling where everything you put into something comes out of something, and you cannot express in words how you feel at this present time.
What about rest now for you? You want to get away from the football or the rah-rah? You get tired of the rah-rah? This is great, isn't it?
It's part of my life now. It's my life story, I guess. And, you know, at this point, what more could I say?
Tim, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
All right, Bob.
All right, Tim McGee, wide receiver of the Volunteers. We'll be back at 6 o'clock to give you a wrap-up and have more from Gibbs Hall as the Volunteers, the SEC champs and the Sugar Bowl champs, return to Knoxville. This is Bob Kesling reporting live from the UT campus.
Shortly after 4:30 this afternoon, the chartered Delta jet landed on Tennessee soil after quite a week down in the state of Louisiana. Coach Johnny Majors was among the first off the plane, followed closely by the real reason that the Tennessee Vols made the trip to New Orleans in the first place, the Sugar Bowl trophy. The Majors took time to greet fans who awaited at the airport, fans who'd waited a long time for this day to come. Rally, and our Bob Kesling, who spent most of last week in New Orleans with the team, is at Gibbs Hall right now. He's standing by live. Bob, what's happening down there?
Well, many of the fans have cleared out, but there were several thousand here greeting the Volunteers when they came back from the airport. And I think really it's a kind of a cap to a long week of celebration for Tennessee fans. They've waited a long time to get back to the Sugar Bowl. And then over the weekend, the Volunteers got there. The Tennessee fans enjoyed it in New Orleans. And today they came out in droves to greet this championship football team as it returned to Knoxville. Of course, the Associated Press poll is coming out. Many chances that Tennessee might be able to move up as high as third, perhaps fourth in the rankings this week when the final poll for the 1985 football season comes out. And of course, last night was the big game in New Orleans. Many people going in didn't give Tennessee much of a chance, at least the folks around the country. In East Tennessee, I think most people thought the Volunteers did indeed have a chance. They were a 7-point underdog, did not play like it last night, and the celebration was big at the Superdome.
Last night set off the explosion of emotion at the supercharged Superdome. Tennessee's defense set the pace in the very first play. Miami quarterback Vinny Testaverde was so confused by UT's defensive look, he had to call timeout. Even this evening, Testaverde is still trying to figure out what Tennessee defensive coordinator Ken Donahue had dreamed up for his team. On the other side, Tennessee was sharp, emotional, aggressive, and they dominated the football game in every aspect. Tennessee broke the game wide open in the third quarter. Jeff Powell ran through a block thrown by Bruce Wilkerson and Harry Galbraith, and then used his outstanding speed to outrun the secondary to open up the game as the Volunteers sprinted away to the 35-7 victory over Miami. The victory set off a chain reaction in the Superdome.
This is what it's all about right here.
It's great. It's just great. We held together and we fought all day, I guess all night.
35-7. We just didn't beat them. We did. We beat them good. So.
Many of the players are still milling all around. We'll just talk to a few. This is Lavoisier Fisher, senior linebacker from Nashville. Lavoisier, been around for a while. I know you guys waited a long time to get to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, I've been waiting 4 years for this, Bob, and I just thank the Lord that it finally came my senior year and everything. And I want to say thank you to the fans, because if it weren't for them, I don't believe we could have done it, because they was like a 12th man to us, and I just want to say thank you.
What about the defense last night? A lot of people are talking, well, Tennessee threw a lot of things at Miami. It confused them. Is that what happened?
Yeah, we mixed it up a whole lot. We knew that Miami, if the running game didn't go well for them, that they was going to do a lot of passing. So we knew if we can go out there and blitz them and put pressure on the quarterback, we could stop them.
Mr. Testaverde was scratching his head a couple of times last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Lavazier, thanks a lot, Lavazier. Congratulations, man. It's Keith Davis. Where did Keith go? Here's Keith. Keith, last night, the offense. Tell us about the things that you wanted to do when going into the game.
Well, we wanted to go in the game and execute well against that front four. They are very good up that front four, so we want to just go in and execute well.
And the offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage, and really you were able to push the ball and really do what you wanted to do most of the night, weren't you?
Yes, it was. It came, at first it was a little shaky. We had the butterflies, and then once, we got in the groove of the game, it started, we was able to push the ball.
When did you know that the game was in control?
When Chris Dwight intercepted he had his interception in the third quarter. I knew it was over then.
Yeah, it was a great win. Thanks, Keith. Congratulations on a big year.
Thank you.
Thanks to Keith Davis, his thoughts on the victory. Now, last night in New Orleans, of course, fans flooded Bourbon Street to celebrate. At least the Tennessee fans did. The Miami fans didn't do much celebrating last night. Chip Carter was on Bourbon Street and has a report on what the Tennessee fans did last night.
When the final gun ended, it started a party on Bourbon Street, but not in Miami headquarters, as fans drowned their frustration struggling through the fight song. Outside, nothing moved. Hurricane fans strung up barbed wire to keep ball fans out. Miami souvenir shops shut down completely. Okay, this is a slight exaggeration, but I didn't find many on the street.
After the first quarter, forgot it. It was like history. Nobody wanted to show those colors.
While they covered up their colors, they didn't hide their feelings.
I'm so depressed because we had a chance for a national championship. It was in our hands, and these people outplayed us.
Everybody's kind of looking ahead and was worried about what was going to happen in the Orange Bowl.
Testaverde didn't play his best game of the year, that's for sure. I guess they waited until the end of the year.
While they do agree UT stomped them, there is one thing they'll never agree to.
You're going to learn the words to Rocky Top?
I hate that song. They are down, but I'll tell you what, they deserve to win tonight. They played good ball. They played football.
So here in the shadows of Bourbon Street, Miami fans can only listen to the sounds of celebration, a Tennessee celebration. They still cling to one more hope of a bowl game, a Super Bowl game. The Dolphins, maybe, on January 26th. From New Orleans, Chip Carter, Action 10 Sports.
We are back live in front of Gibbs Hall here on the UT campus. Tim McGee, All-America wide receiver, is with us. Tim, sum up the season and the things this team has accomplished. If I would have told you before the season started you would be in New Orleans beating Miami 35-7, would you believe me?
Yeah.
Spoken like a diplomat. Go ahead.
I felt, when me and Tony was at the press conference in Birmingham, we felt we can match up man-to-man with any team in the nation. And, if we executed the way we felt we could play against anybody in the nation, whether it's the Oklahomas, the Miamis, or Auburns. And, we knocked off the number 1, number 2 team in the nation, so that deserves us the right to say we're number 1.
Yeah, Daryl Dickey did not make it back with the team. He's in Florida with some friends and family. But you've got to take your hat off to Daryl Dickey. What a year.
He came in and done something most people didn't expect him to do. He done something most quarterbacks can't say they do. He never lost the ball game he started. He made a tie, too, but he got us to where we wanted to go, and when we got there, he helped us win the big game, too.
Congratulations, Tim. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob.
Tim McGee, Tennessee All-America wide receiver. Ken will be back in a moment, in a few minutes later on for a sports section, and we'll have more with the Volunteers' return to Knoxville when we come back. Ken?
Thank you, Bob Kessell.
New Orleans City Police beefed up their ranks on Bourbon Street as they waited for the anticipated rush of ecstatic Tennessee fans.
Were you happy or displeased that the Tennessee Vols won?
Displeased.
Why is that?
Well, I'm glad they won, but by them winning, the crowd is out, so that means we got to work longer.
It didn't take long for trouble to erupt. Here at Miami headquarters on Bourbon Street, a fight broke out between a Miami and Tennessee fan. Only minor injuries were reported.
15-23, please.
While police may have been less than happy with the final score of the Sugar Bowl, shop owners, restaurateurs, bar owners, and other vendors were smiling all the way to the bank.
One of my friends who's a bartender told me that they ran out of cups, all supplies at Pat O'Brien's. 2 of the hot dog men had to go home. They'd had no more hot dogs. It's been a record New Year's.
The city estimated $25 million new dollars would enter the city as a result of Sugar Bowl week, turning over 4 times for a total impact of $100 million. That apparently was a low estimate.
Have you spent more money or less money than you expected to?
More money.
Do you mind?
No, I love it.
What will you do differently?
When I come back?
Bring more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, more money. So we can sell longer. Obviously, Tennessee fans have taken the city of New Orleans like a hurricane, and the prospect of another banner football year next year has retailers here chomping at the bit. Gene Patterson, Action 10 News, New Orleans, Louisiana.
And, of course, East Tennessee is awash in an orange glow today, and that means lots of green for our local merchants. Art Sassy reports that Knoxville is doing its best to paint the town orange.
Last night's powerful Vol hollers dimmed a bit, but carried through East Tennessee this morning.
104 WIMZ, Phil Williams, Wake and Crew. Several questions still unanswered this morning. By the way, if I hadn't told you the score over 1,000 times, Tennessee beats Miami 35-7. Now, Buzz says,
And then turned to lots of Vol dollars as the day progressed.
We're just wanting to see if maybe something about the Sugar Bowl or something like that. After 16 years, you know, we just thought maybe they might have something like that out.
We'll have the Sugar Bowl champs hat coming in, and next week we'll have the new SEC champ sweatshirts in coming from New York, plus other T-shirts and things.
Local T-shirt makers found they almost had a license to print money as they hurried their ideas to the presses.
Just been watching it all year long and thinking about it, getting ready for it. We decided to use some kind of newspaper article on the front of the shirt. We just came up with the idea of putting him in a Sugar Bowl and making it look like a boat from New Orleans, and worked real well.
Right now, local merchants are banking that a taste of sugar has left Knoxville with a thirst for orange that will not quench for months to come. Art Sassy, Action 10 News.
The University of Tennessee has also commissioned an official Sugar Bowl T-shirt. 5,000 of those shirts should arrive in town from Cincinnati sometime tomorrow, but you can buy other Sugar Bowl shirts all around town right now. When we come back, a report card is handed in on Tennessee's prisons. We'll see if they made the grade, and a chemical spill keeps our area firefighters on their toes this afternoon.
People didn't think Tennessee could win, and he led them to a very impressive victory against the #2 team in the country. Last night, after most of the media had cleared out, Daryl Dickey had a chance to let some of that emotion and joy out with his family. To feel very happy for Daryl Dickey. This is Joey Klingscales. Jeff Smith tied in and caught a touchdown pass last night. Guys, it's over. Has it hit you yet? What happened last night?
I guess it has. I guess it hit me last night. It was a great feeling down there with so many people. I guess it was more Tennessee people down there than anything.
Yeah, Jeff, last night you got wide open for the touchdown pass. What happened on the play?
Well, what happened is it was actually a blown coverage, and they were supposed to play zone, and when the ball was snapped, the cornerback played Eric man-to-man, and somebody forgot to cover the tight end, and I just drifted back to the back of the end zone, wide open.
Yeah, it was a thrill, wasn't it?
It was.
Took a little bow afterwards, too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just, well, when I was doing that, I was just kind of bowing out of college football.
All right, Jeff, congratulations, Joey. Thanks a lot. Ken Donahue, defensive coordinator, is with us. Coach, you put together a pretty good game plan last night, but there was the players who pulled it off, didn't they?
That's exactly right, and the guys that worked with me had as much to do putting that game plan together as I did, and Coach Bumpus, Mel Foles, and Coach Zook. And our players gave us great effort and executed it well.
Was it the key just to confuse Testaverde last night?
Well, we wanted to confuse him, and we felt like for the game that we had to put a rush on him. Kind of felt like a team that got the best rush on the quarterback probably going to win the game.
That's what happened. Congratulations, Coach Donahue.
Thank you, Bob.
Big win last night for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee basketball team tonight against Florida opens the SEC schedule. One other SEC note, Mississippi State basketball coach Bob Boyd is expected to resign tonight before Mississippi State plays Alabama in basketball. We'll have highlights of the Tennessee game tonight on our Nightside Report. This is Bob Kesling reporting live from Gibbs Hall.
Thank you, Robert, very much. Well, when we come back, we'll find out how Tennessee's amazing football season will be remembered in a soft drink bottle.
Going to the Sugar Bowl with my girl, going to a party down in New Orleans. The Volunteers are wanted in the
play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Well, it started off with Tony really throwing the ball. He got us passing Biggins and they had a bad fall. Dickie took it over, had the lead in the balls. Who'd have ever thought it? Now we're going down to play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Well, the Volunteers won it and we're gonna play the Sugar Bowl. I said shake, I told him shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake the Dickie, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake McGee, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake 'em, they oh shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Oh, kick it, Charlotte. Never take for granted what you know is true. The Volunteers are gonna get Miami too. Pack up your bags, check out the score. The Volunteers are won and now we're gonna play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Shake, Tony, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake, Dickie, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake, McGee, gonna shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake 'em, they oh shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Take it off, Greg. Shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake the Sugar Bowl.
So you will see it printed across your screen at that time. For now, though, thanks for joining us. World News Tonight is next, and we'll see you at 11.
It was over, and both teams had survived. And now it was time to see which team would survive through 60 minutes of the best college football in the country. Opening drive, and the Tennessee Vols looked nervous. A mix-up in the backfield, and a missed snap cadence, all in 3 downs. The Vols had to punt it away. The Canes began confidently, just like they had acted all week in New Orleans. Johnson threw in a surprise right off the bat on 4th down. A fake punt, and a 25-yard gain by Mel Bratton. Next play from scrimmage, Testaverde set a hush over the transplanted UT home crowd with an 18-yard TD connection with flanker Mike Irvin.
We were a bunch of young guys. We were small. Like Kelly said, misfits is the word, you know. Dale Jones was said he'd never play here. Kelly has a bad ankle. Darren was a nose guard. We just, the list goes on, and we believed in ourselves, though.
At this point, the Tennessee defense decided it was time to go to work. The Canes' next possession ended with a thud. Richard Brown got to Testaverde for a 14-yard loss. As the first quarter ran out, the Vols were on a steady course. And on the first play of the second quarter, Darrell Dickey eludes a heavy Miami rush and finds his tight end Jeff Smith all alone in the back of the end zone. The score was tied. Before this 52nd annual Sugar Bowl, Vol head coach Johnny Majors said Tennessee would need plenty of breaks to come out on top. And once again, it was the Big Orange defense that made those breaks happen. Defensive tackle Marco Vanek making the stick on Heisman and also manages to scramble for the loose ball. The Vols take over. Next series, linebacker Dale Jones steps up for his turn, sacking Testaverde for a 21-yard loss. These defensive heroics gave the Vols nearly a 2-to-1 advantage on time of possession, and the offense showed its gratitude. Jeff Powell struggles till Miami won and is stripped of the ball, but Tim McGee is in the right place at the right time and collects credit for 6 points. Tennessee led 14-7 at the half. The Vols offense continued a steady course in half number 2. Darrell Dickey leading the charge through the air, and with 9:09 left in the third, Big Sam Henderson went over to give the Vols a 14-point lead. And just a few minutes later, running back Jeff Powell left a trail of smoke and the entire Miami defense in his wake as he took off for this 60-yard touchdown. It was the longest run against the Canes this year.
I saw the goal line, and I haven't scored all year. I wanted to score very bad on a long run. I saw the goal line, I just ran. I probably ran faster than I've ever run before.
And as the fourth quarter wound down, it was very apparent that the University of Tennessee Volunteers had won their first Sugar Bowl championship in the past 16 years. A couple of interceptions cemented the win for the Vols. Darren Miller halting a drive on the Tennessee 5. And a little later, Chris White taking this one back 68 yards, setting up another Tennessee score. The Tennessee Volunteers winning the 1986 Sugar Bowl 35-7 over Miami.
It's a dream come true to be able to come in here and contribute to the success of the University of Tennessee and its program, and to come in here and win the Southeastern Conference Championship and win the Sugar Bowl Classic.
It is certainly one of the finest wins that I've been around in football, period. We worked through a lot of hard spots, got rid of some discipline problems.
Party down in New Orleans. The Volunteers are wanted in the SEC. They're going to be a party and we're going down to play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Well, it started off with Tony really throwing the ball. He got us passing Biggins and they had a bad fall. Dickie took it over, had the lead in the balls. Who'd have ever thought it, now we're going down to play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Well, the Volunteers are wanted and we're going to play the Sugar Bowl. I said a shake, I told the shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake the Dickie, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake McGee, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake 'em, they oh shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Oh, kick it, Charlotte. Never take for granted what you know is true. The Volunteers are gonna get Miami too. Pack up your bags, check out the store. The Volunteers are won, now we're gonna play the Sugar Bowl. Going down to New Orleans. Gonna have a little party with the Volunteers of Tennessee. Shake, Tony, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake, Dickie, shake, shake the Sugar Bowl. Shake, McGee, gonna shake.
In terms of numbers, Bob, 40,000 Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm Rick Bowen. Join in the celebration of UT's sensational Sugar Bowl victory. Get all the celebration songs on one cassette and help raise badly needed funds for United Children's Fund.
To get your copy, send $10 to United Children's Fund. Post Office Box Sugar, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37990.